Now we saw the carry forward and set off of loss from non-speculative business in one of the previous videos. How about the loss from speculation business? Now, in terms of the loss from speculation business, the carried forward and set off is allowed against profits from speculation business. So these losses cannot be set off against income from regular businesses. So if you get profits from speculation business, let's say you were carrying two speculative business, one incurred losses and the other profit, then you can set them off against each other. If you are unable to set them off, you are allowed to carry forward, but this carry forward is allowed for 4 assessment years immediately succeeding the assessment year for which the loss was computed. So unlike the profits and gains of business and profession, and unlike house property, these losses can be carried forward only for 4 assessment years, vis-a-vis 8 assessment years which is normally permitted for other kinds of losses. Now what do you mean by speculation business? Now speculation business is not defined, but section 43(5) defines speculative transactions. So it defines what do you mean by a speculative transaction. Let's see. Speculative transactions means a transaction in which a contract for purchase or sale of any commodity, including stocks and shares, is periodically or ultimately settled otherwise than by actual delivery of transfer of commodity or scrip. So what happens in this case is that people enter into buy and sell contract, but they don't intend to actually do the delivery of goods. So it's more a kind of a speculation that they play upon. Okay, if the price moves like this, I'll pay you this. If the price goes like this, I'll pay you this. And the underlying commodity might actually be some kind of a commodity also. So any profits or gains that you earn from that are known as speculative profits or losses. If there are losses, they are governed by this particular provision. However, there are certain exceptions to this rule. The first one being hedging contracts. Now, hedging contract basically mean that if suppose I am a dealer in rice, okay, and I bought 100 kgs quintals of rice. Now I am expecting that even though I bought it at 500, the price might go down to 400. So if the price goes down, obviously I incur a risk that I might lose my money. So in those cases, there are hedging contracts which are available, under which what happens is that I will go to a person and I will tell him that, can you sell me rice? Can you buy rice from me at 500? So what happens then is that if he agrees to do that, he's going to charge me a certain fees and say, okay, if the price goes down below 500, I'll compensate you for the loss. If the price does not go below 500, I'll keep this money. So the hedging contracts in those cases basically are not covered within the definition of speculative transaction. And the next exception is any eligible transaction in respect of derivatives subject to certain conditions. So certain derivative transactions are also excluded from the definition of speculative losses.